everyone, and welcome back to my brand new mom channel, Fancy That Mom's Life. If you guys aren't subscribed, I would love it if you click the subscribe button and stuck around. I'm excited. This is a brand new channel and I've got so much planned for it. I would like to preface this video by saying if you are watching with little ones, this might be one that you want to watch later with some headphones or just not at all. I am going to be talking about labor and delivery and getting a little bit personal with some things that happened to me. So if you're watching with your little ones and they are young, or you're watching with people, or you yourself are very sensitive to this, then I recommend not watching. But today I really wanted to talk about what I wish I'd known before I delivered babies. I have two babies, 5 and 2.5. There are a few things that I wish I'd known that would have helped my labor and delivery go better, more smoothly. Everybody's labor and delivery is so different. But for me, personally, these are the things that I really wish I'd known going into it. So hopefully by telling you, it will give you some things to think about and hopefully help you out either if you're going to be having another baby, if you're pregnant now, if you hope to be pregnant in the future. Hopefully these are some things just to get you thinking. Number one, you guys, this was a huge one for me. As you get closer to your delivery date, you will start having more frequent doctor's appointments and they will start to check your cervix. Oh my gosh. This was really hard for me. It was very painful. It was very traumatizing. Afterwards, I would have cramping and bleeding for days. It was absolutely awful. And come to find out, you don't actually have to do this. This is something that your doctor is going to say, like in the appointment, okay, it's time for this. You don't have to. At least where I went with my second, I said, do I have to do this? Because I really hate it. And she's like, no, it's just kind of fun to know how far you're dilated, how far you're effaced, and how ready your body is. You don't have to do this. I completely opted out on my second baby and I did not miss a thing. I was so glad not to do it. The second thing I'd wish I'd known is you can kick your nurses out. This sounds mean, but you guys, if you are having a terrible nurse, if she is being unkind to you, which mine was, if she is making fun of you, which mine was, you can say, please leave. I need a new nurse. Have your husband, your boyfriend, whoever is with you, your mom, please leave. We need to request a new nurse and don't worry about it. It's okay if you are not feeling good vibes from your nurse, your nurse that's on call for you. Ask someone to get you a new one. The third thing I'd wish I'd known is to eat before you go to the hospital. Oftentimes you're not allowed to eat just in case you need to have an emergency C-section. They just don't really know how the labor and delivery is actually going to play out, and you really don't know either. So they, as a precaution, don't let you eat. I went into my labors starving hungry, and I wish I had eaten. I wish I'd eaten. Sometimes you're too sick. Sometimes you're throwing up. Sometimes your contractions are too painful. You can't even fathom eating. But if you can, I suggest it because it could be 10 hours, 20 hours before you have your baby. And by then you are starving. So I do recommend trying to eat before you go, if at all possible. The next thing I wish I'd known was to tell my husband exactly how I wanted everything to go before we went. Now, as many of you know, it's nice to have a birth plan, but don't get your heart set on it because so often it does not go the way you'd planned. I had 2 birth plans and neither of them went how I had planned them. So just remember, it's nice to have a plan because it's calming for you. And sometimes the things on your birth plan can happen, but don't be alarmed if they can't, and they don't. So it's nice though to let whoever's coming with you, in my case, my husband, I let him know, I definitely want the epidural. Fight for me if I am incoherent. If I have gone to the underworld, which I did with my first 38-hour back labor, you guys, I was out of my mind. I could not think, I could not see, I could not hear, I couldn't communicate whatsoever. If your husband knows what you need, what you want, he can advocate for you. I recommend telling him what you need. Make sure I get the epidural. If I start shaking, please look for that. Ask for if I can get a warm blanket. Have him know ahead of time that he needs to be very conscientious of you. And as much as you can, have him know what you're going through. Tell him I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I definitely want you to sit by me, to comfort me, to hold me, tell him, because a husband has no idea what's going on. And in my case, I was silent. He had no idea. I wasn't crying. I wasn't screaming. I was doing nothing. I was sitting there. I was in the underrealms, you guys. I wasn't even present. It was unbelievable. He had no idea what I was going through. So tell him, when I get into a lot of pain, I shut down. I can't talk to you, but this is what I need from you. I need you to comfort me. I need you to advocate for me, and I need you to help me get the epidural, if that is part of your birth plan and something that you want. The next thing is you can be wheeled into the building and into the delivery. Oh, it broke. I have my sweet little boy with me, Blakey. I'm talking about you. I just recommend getting into a wheelchair if you're in a lot of pain. Sometimes the walking is very, very difficult. The next thing I'd wish I'd known is that lactation consultants, lactation nurses, who will want to come in if you're having your baby in a traditional hospital, they are going to want to help you nurse. And when I say help you, I mean hands on. This was very stressful for me and actually aggravated my baby like crazy. She totally tore off all of his clothes. Her hands were like ice. She started touching his skin and he started screaming, crazy, crying, would not nurse for a couple of hours. It was awful. She got him worked into a frenzy. It's not helpful. It wasn't helpful for me. Know that they want to get hands-on with you and your baby, and you do not have to let them do this. It is optional, but they are quite pushy oftentimes. So if you don't want them coming in there and touching you and touching your baby, let them know. The next thing that I wish I'd known is that you don't have to actually start pushing before your doctor gets there. My nurse had me start pushing my baby out before the doctor was even in the room. This caused me horrible problems. I tore one of the worst tears they had ever seen, and I didn't recover from that tear for 6 months. It was awful, and it was all because everything was kind of unprofessionally assisted. So they will tell you to start pushing. You can say, no, I'm not gonna push until my doctor gets here, or let them know when you arrive, I won't be pushing until my doctor gets here. My doctor feels she could have prevented a lot of that tearing if she had actually been there in the first place. You guys, the one thing that I am so glad that I knew actually was advice I was given from my mom, and that is ice. Oh my gosh, this is a lifesaver. Get some ice down there, you guys. It is amazing. You're swollen, and the ice really helps bring the swelling down and just makes it more comfortable for you and helps a little bit in the recovery process, at least for me. So I was really glad. I kept my ice on for probably 8 hours. 6 hours. I mean, have the nurse help you. They'll let you know that's been enough. You know, you don't need any more. This is getting to be too much ice. You know, let it rest for a bit. They'll tell you because they're going to be there helping you. But I do recommend asking for new ice. Every time the nurse comes in right after delivery, ask them to check your ice, make sure it's still cold, and if you need a new bag, get one. All right, you guys, that's going to complete this video, and I'm actually going to wrap this one up by letting you know that I'm going to start doing a mom minute at the end of some of my videos, like little chatty videos like this one. Leave me any questions that you want to know about labor and delivery, advice from being a mom, questions about my kids, anything you want to know, and I will pick 1 or 2 of those questions to answer in my next video. So would you please, if you have a question, leave it in the comments with the hashtag #MomMinute, just so that my eye goes right to it and I can find it really, really fast. Again, thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you have any other videos that you would like to see. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.